Hello. Do you have to make presentations? Do you hate presentations? I like presentations, but one thing that you are probably maybe good at with presentations are making PowerPoint presentations because you have visual aids to help you, so you don't really have to talk as much if you're nervous about talking. Presentation skills is something that you can work on. We have videos on ingvid.com to help you with presentation skills. So go and check those out for learning how to speak during presentations. But what we're going to focus on today is the visual aspect of presentation. So your PowerPoint things. Some things to do and some things not to do. So here we are, presentation skills. The first thing, and one of the things that makes these presentations so fun, are pictures. But we have to be careful. The templates that you have already included in your presentation software, they're boring. People use them all the time. So I suggest you try and download some other pictures to make your presentation more interesting. And with that, make sure that on one slide you have one image. Make it interesting. Do not have a split screen, so don't have two images on one slide. Do not have a collage, that's insane. A collage is many different small pictures on one screen. Even when I see a collage, there's a lot of collages coming out on Facebook now, and I'm like, too many pictures, can't understand. Our brains just cannot comprehend all those pictures, especially when you're having the slide up for a short period of time. Don't make it like a photo album. Don't put millions and 7 pictures, and keep it simple. Put a single image on each slide. Try and pick images that you actually like and not too distracting. You don't want puppy dogs and things. Make something simple, but something that you like, and make sure it looks nice. The next one you have to worry about is the lettering. So the lettering, you also might know this as the font. So font and lettering are the same. One thing that you do not want to do is have really fancy or beautiful lettering. Simply, the reason is some people can't read when the letters are fancy, especially if you are doing presentations for people who do not have English as their first language. If you take the letters and you write them even cursive, a lot of people have problems reading cursive. So I suggest you use something more traditional. There's lots of very easy to read fonts you can get from your whatever word processing you use. So make it simple, easy to read. Another problem that you might have is the script is too big or too small. So remember that when you're making your presentation, you're doing it probably on your laptop or your desktop, your iPad, or your phone. So the font or the lettering is going to be different than when you put it up in the projector. So if at all possible, if you can, check it out before you do the presentation. Look at hook up your laptop or whatever and see if you can actually see it on the screen, because the font is different. You might think that on your laptop it's a good size, but when it gets on the projection screen, it's tiny. Or it takes up too much space and it's too big. Next up are the words or the text. So there's been studies done on how many lines of text a human can absorb or understand. And any more than 6, you've lost the people. So try and keep on each slide one very simple image with very traditional clear text, and put only 2 or 3 lines on each slide. Don't put bullet points. If you have more than 6 lines, or if you have bullet points, again, we just can't remember them all. We just lose focus. We have something called too much information, too much info, TMI. Too much information means that if you have more than 2 or 3 lines, we're just not getting it. Our brain we just can't learn it like you want us to. The other one that's probably really important is the colors that you use. Now, it's fun to have different colors. It helps us, as you can see on the board, it helps us create contrast and highlight words or things you think that are important. But if you have different colors within one word, can you read this word? It makes it really, really difficult to read. This word says different, and maybe when you're watching the video at home, you can't maybe see the I or the E. This looks very childish. When we're kids, we can make different colors. It's fun. But your presentation isn't for children, and it's not meant to be fun. You want to have the title and the words very easy to read. You don't want them to be difficult, and you don't want to have people straining their eyes to figure out what word that is. I will never forget my grade 4 art teacher telling me that you can never use different colors in one word. As an 8-year-old, I was just taken back. I was like, oh my God, I use different colors all the time, Mr. Riley. No. So I remember this. Thank you, Mr. Riley, if you're still out there, for teaching me this very important lesson. But what you can do is you can definitely use different color, one different color, to highlight or emphasize one word. So down here, you can use one different color to emphasize important words. So as you can see, I want you to focus on the word one and emphasize. The other words, I'm keeping black. So one different color will really help this pop out or stand out. If you use too many colors, again, sorry, we get confused. So, I'm dying. Someone give me an Alka-Seltzer. The last thing is you want a strong contrast of the letters in the background. So if my background color is blue, I wouldn't want to have green lettering because green and blue are very similar colors, very similar shades. So you have to make sure that if you have a gray background, you want something that really stands out. You have to be careful of the colors that you choose for the background and the lettering. So, if you can keep these 4 major categories in mind when you're doing or making a presentation, color, keep it simple. 1 or 2 different colors is fantastic. Make sure the words or the text are limited to 2 or 3 major points. You want to build your presentation instead of just throwing information at people. Make sure the lettering is clear, nothing crazy. Make sure it's not too big, not too small. And also make sure that you're not overloading the pupils with pictures because it's going to lose from your actual presentation point. If you need help doing presentations, check out our videos on presentation skills at ingvid.com. Check it out on YouTube. I'm out of here. Bye-bye.